I had just gotten home from work, exhausted and ready to relax. My wife Emily had prepared dinner, something she rarely did lately. The table was set, candles flickered softly, and everything looked perfect. But something felt off. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. Still, I sat down and tried to push away the unease growing in my chest. We started eating, but Emily's focus was clearly somewhere else. She kept glancing at her phone beside her plate, her fingers twitching every time it lit up. I pretended not to notice, keeping my tone light as we talked about our day. She laughed at my jokes, but her eyes kept darting to the screen. That's when I noticed her typing. Quick, silent taps. She wasn't just checking something. She was having a conversation. I excused myself and got up to refill my water. As I walked past her, I glanced down and saw the name on the screen. It wasn't saved as a contact, just an initial. T. I stood frozen for a second as the message preview appeared. Asterisk last night was amazing. I can't stop thinking about you. Asterisk. My heart sank. My stomach turned, but I kept my face calm. I returned to the table and sat down. She looked up at me, unaware that I had seen the message. She smiled again, nervously this time. I picked up my fork and took another bite. I stared at her, my expression unreadable, and said, "You know, Emily, it's funny how people forget they're not invisible just because they're quiet." Her smile faltered. She looked at me, confused. "What do you mean?" she asked, trying to sound casual. I leaned forward slightly, keeping my voice low but firm. "I saw your message," I said. "The one you just sent. Last night was amazing. That wasn't meant for me, was it?" The color drained from her face instantly. Her fork clattered to plate, and she blinked rapidly, trying to form words. "It's not what you think," she said, her voice cracking. "It was a mistake, I swear. Just a conversation. Nothing happened." But she couldn't look me in the eyes. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. I saw more than just that message, Emily. I've known for weeks. I didn't want to believe it. I hoped I was wrong. Her hands trembled and she reached for my arm, but I pulled away. "I wanted you to tell me the truth," I said, "but now you've made your choice very clear." Tears welled up in her eyes and she started pleading. "Please let me explain. It didn't mean anything. I was lonely. I didn't know how to talk to you anymore." Her words came out in a rush, filled with guilt and desperation. "I was right here," I said quietly. "You just stopped looking for me. And now you found someone else to fill the space I held in your life." I pushed back from the table and stood up. I deserved better than half-truths and dinner dates filled with lies. She stood too, trying to stop me. "Please don't leave like this. We can fix it. I made a mistake, but I still love you." Her voice was trembling now, barely above a whisper. I looked at her, and for the first time, I felt nothing. No anger, no heartbreak, just a quiet emptiness. "Love isn't something you prove by betraying someone," I said. "If you loved me, we wouldn't be here." I walked to the door, grabbing my coat. I turned back one last time. She stood frozen, her makeup streaked with tears, dinner forgotten on the table behind her. "Take tonight to think about what you really want," I said. "But don't text it to me. Say it to my face if there's still anything left to say." Then I walked out, leaving behind the woman I once loved and the life I no longer recognized.